when you realize you've just hurt someone, a lot can be happening here right now. There's a lot of shame, a lot of guilt, and I have personal firsthand experience hurting somebody, and we all have hurt somebody in the past, and sometimes worse than others. People I know have come up to me and said they've done something serious to someone else in the past, and they feel a lot of guilt and shame. And we can use these words, guilt and shame, as ways to relate one another, but there's also like the amount of distress it causes. And the amount of distress that the guilt and shame of hurting someone else seriously can cause us can disrupt sleep, work schedules, caring for our community, caring for ourselves. So if you're feeling overwhelmed after you've hurt somebody or guilt and shame, you're in the right place. We're going to go through all the steps that first soothe those emotions, but also what does life look like if you still want to be around after you've hurt somebody? What does living a good life look like after you've hurt somebody? What are the rehabilitative steps? What are the transformative steps? And it's not what you think. It's not seeking God or seeking Jesus. It's also not seeking forgiveness from whoever you've hurt. And the 12-step program, it's nothing like that. This is what I've done when researching my indigenous ancestry and the way they used to do things and the way like their cousin ancestors used to do things. So it's going to be more along the lines of indigenous ethics than it is psychology. I'm not a psychologist, I'm not a therapist. So when you've hurt somebody, what does it feel like in the body? It sometimes feels like an emptiness in your chest or like you've been stabbed in the chest because at that point everybody's empathy switch just clicks on and you feel some kind of pain if you've hurt somebody else or even think you've caused pain to somebody else. The We're wired to feel together and to feel off of each other, and this just kicks in overdrive. You might have nausea, upset stomach, digestive issues. So after we mess up, society, especially here in the West, in the US, is very much like, was there legal harm? Well, then straight to jail where more harm will be done to you. Or if you're in a different place, it might be a fine, or it might be seeking redemption. Redemption is a religious word, it's a Christian word, seeking redemption through Christ or religion. We're not doing that here. That's what society usually says. It's if you broke a law, you pay the legal issues, and if it's spirituality may help you, psychology may help you. Those are the most commonly accepted avenues for people who've hurt someone seriously. I don't see that helping more than it causes harm. I personally have seen a lot of harm come through those complexes, and there's not enough resources to go around when it comes to psychological help. So if you're lucky, you get that. And if you're not lucky, you just get thrown away in a closet and the key gets shoved out the window. And that's metaphorically, of course. So I think harm is universal. I think we harm each other all of the time in micro ways through microaggressions, even, or in broader ways through serious offenses. I think the capacity, at least, to slip up is there. And that when we think of an ideal person, that is a mythical person. That person doesn't exist. And I reject forgiveness as a moral requirement for yourself. You don't need to be forgiven after you've hurt someone in order to keep doing good. That's as if you need permission. Forgiveness is just almost permission to feel better. And first, you give that to yourself. I've never liked how in the 12-step program that there's a part where you go to other people. I've never liked that. If this isn't something I can't do to make myself feel better alone on a stranded island, then it doesn't work. For me, that doesn't work. I need to be able to uh, do better on my own on a stranded island for it to work. And even better, because every condition is going to be better than that. It's coming from a place of gratitude. I'm not on an island. I'm surrounded by people who care for me, and I have people who I can care for. I have animals to care for. I have a land to steward. So I like the island test. And that sort of confession based redemption, I don't like that either. It's sort of signaling that we need a witness, another human witness. It is based in a hierarchy that human witnessing is the top. And if we don't have a human witnessing the problems we've caused, then we're never going to get better. And that is a lie. Humans aren't at the top. That's a Christian theology thing, right? Like Adam named all the other animals and all the concepts. But from a different perspective, beings are witnessing us all the time. Your ancestors are witnessing us all the time. So if I've caused some harm to me, I know my ancestors have seen that. And I can turn to them and be like, oh, you saw what I did. And they're like, yeah, time to fix it. And then you fix it. You fix it by doing the good you can in the future. You can rely on any being to do witnessing for you. It doesn't have to be a human. So that's why I don't like confession based. It's very Christian heavy again. And I tend to stay away from those colonizer type concepts and aim for concepts that are more in line with my indigenous ancestry. And we don't want to get a group together to center the person who caused the harm. That is a lot of show. You're making like a big performance, shall we say, out of redemption. That's like going to the front of a church and getting baptized again, everyone cheering you on, and then you're washed literally from your sins. I don't think it should be like that. I think it's more like chains. You've got some chains on you now, and they're going to be heavy at first. But as you work and continue to do good acts throughout this world, you will get stronger at carrying those chains. And you don't ever want to get rid of the chains because it's impossible. You've done the deed, you can't undo it. You've done it, so you get to carry that weight as you continue to do good. And that centers the world around you. That is complete humility in my sense. It is humility to carry and do good and let that soothe you and let the being soothe you rather than having a big transformative performance, a theater that does nothing. And we've seen this before when it comes to like online cancellations where people dogpile and they're making a spectacle of it all. They just make a spectacle, a gathering in the picnic of coming together to cause harm to one person that has caused harm. Yeah, I'm not debating on whether or not someone who was canceled deserves to be canceled. This is more in the sense of the spectacle of it all. When accountability becomes that spectacle, there's no room for accountability to come from that person. They're too busy being hijacked by this threat that's on them. And this video is for the people who are causing the harm. So accountability doesn't look like being flagellated like that and then again being washed away of your sins. No such thing. Then you just continue doing good. And you have to show up to continue doing good and be seen doing good. That is more the point than the flagellation. You have to continue doing good and be seen doing good. And this isn't hiding. This is taking the stance that everyone causes harm. So when doing harm, the focus should be how can I sustain myself to do good again and to learn and grow again? That is the shift. And stepping away from that sort of cancellation is more ethical because it frees you from being dogpiled on and free to do good. So turn off your comments. Don't look at the comments. Just keep doing good. I want that to be the breath that you return to. Is when you've done harm, you keep doing good, you keep growing. And if you know somebody who realized they just hurt somebody, or if you realized, oh no, I've hurt somebody terribly, the first first real step is to self soothe because you're in pain now and you don't need other people to soothe you. Sure, if you've got that option, take it. Maybe not from the person you've harmed, but if you realized, oh no, I've hurt someone, then the next step is self soothe. And then the next step is, how do I learn to keep going? And what does a good life look like? Vision, make a plan in your head, just imagine the possibilities that after you've hurt someone, h- how, what's, what does a good life look like? If you like this, I'll be around talking more about community building and justice. Stick around. See you in the next video.